Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. And we got the second game of this three-game series between the Padres and Reds. And it's post 1961 Apba bats on April 1st, 1998. Leading off for the Padres. Playing left field is Roberts. Batting second, playing shortstop is Templeton. Batting third, playing right field is Gwynn. Batting fourth, playing first base is Gonzalez. Batting fifth, playing third base is Henley. Batting sixth, playing center field is Gaston. Batting seventh, doing the catching is Kennedy. Batting eighth, playing second base is Flannery. Batting ninth, doing the pitching is Jake Peavy. And for the hometown Cincinnati Reds, we got leading off playing center field is Rose. Batting second, playing second is Morgan. Batting third, playing right field is Griffey. Batting fourth, playing left field is Foster. Batting fifth, playing doing the catching is Bench. Batting sixth, playing third base is Perez. Batting seventh, playing first base is Casey. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Larkin. Batting ninth and on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds is Gary Nolan. Get down here to the stadium and get this game started. And G-Puck joins us here today. Yeah, time for some Apba is right. And to lead it off here for the Padres is Biss Roberts. He was 0 for 4 in game number 1 going up against Gary Nolan. And in 1972, Nolan was 15 and 5 and a 1.99 ERA. See the Cincinnati Reds upcoming schedule. They got one more game here at home against the Padres. Then the Dodgers come to town. Then the Reds go on the road, travel out west to play these Padres in San Diego. And that's going to be a 9 against an 18. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Larkin. He fires across the diamond, and that'll be out number 1. One up and one down here in the top of the first. And Gary Templeton comes to the plate. And Gary's batting .250 on the year. No homers and no RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball out to George and left. That'll be out number 2 rather. That brings up Tony Gwynn now. And Gwynn's batting .500 early in the year with an RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Larkin. That'll be a 1-2-3 top of the first. And at San Diego, nothing. The Reds having Rose, Morgan, and Griffey coming to the plate. And Rose batting .200 with no homers and no RBIs. And this is Jake Peavy's 2007 season where he was 19 and 6 with a 2.54 ERA. And as you can see, the team comparisons, the Padres are 1-0, scored 4 runs on 1 homer, no stolen bases, and haven't been caught. The Reds are 0-1, no runs scored yet, no homers, 1 stolen base, and haven't been caught. And here's the pitch to Rose, and that's going to be a ground ball down to Templeton. A lot of ground balls down the short to start this game off with for out number 1. Here comes, Joe Morgan. He's 0 for 4 on the year. And that's going to be a fly ball out the BIP and left field. 2 up and 2 down here for the Big Red Machine. And Griffey comes to the plate. Batting .333. No homers and no RBI. And that's going to be a 18. That's a fly ball out to Cito in center. 1-2-3 goes the Reds. To the top of the second, no score. And we got Gonzalez, Henley, and Cito due up here. Gonzalez 0 for 3 on the year. And that's going to be a fly ball out to George in left field. 1 up and 1 down. Chase Henley comes to the plate now. And Chase is batting .333. He has a homer and 1 RBI in this season early on, and that's a swing and a miss. Chase goes a fishing, and that's out number 2. That's Nolan's first strikeout of the game. Cito Gaston comes up batting .300 with 2 RBIs on the year. And he gets a hold of this. Cito's off to a good start in the early part of the season, and that's going to be a double in the right field. First hit of the ball game by either team. 2-out shot. Brings up Terry Kennedy now. Runner in scoring position. 2 outs. Kennedy's 0 for 4, looking for his first hit of the year. And that's going to be going to be a rare play. 33 on a 38. 33 on a 38. It will be a fly ball out to right field. And Griffey's out in right field. And that's going to be a nice catch by Griffey. And that'll end the inning. And San Diego leaves 1. Out there at second base, we go to the bottom of the 2nd. Still looking for the first run of the ball game. We got Foster, Bench, and Perez due up here. George looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 3. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field for out number 1. And Johnny comes to the plate. Bench is batting .500 on the year. No homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. PEAVY strikes him out for out number 1. Out number 2, rather. First strikeout of the game for PEAVY. Tony steps up to the plate, 0 for 3 on the year. And here's the pitch to Perez. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Chase. 1, 2, 3 goes the Reds. To the top of the 3rd we go. We got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Padres. We got Flannery, Peavy, and then back to Bip. At the top of the order, Flannery's 0 for 3. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Larkin. He fires over to first for out number 1. Jake Peavy's up now. And Jake's first plate appearance of the year. And in 2007, he batted .233. Not bad for a pitcher with no homers and 7 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Perez. 2 quick outs here in the 3rd. And we're back to the top of the order and Bip Roberts. And Roberts grounded out to short his first time up. Not this time. Bip gets a hold of this. See where this lands at. That's going to be another 2-out double. Back-to-back innings with 2-out doubles. Again, Padres need to go ahead, run down the 2nd. And Gary Templeton's up. And Gary flew out to George in left field his first time up. We dropped the dice, making an official game. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Rose in center field. That ends the inning. Again, San Diego strands 1. To the bottom of the 3rd we go. The bottom part of the order due up for the Reds. Casey, Larkin, and Nolan. And this is Sean Casey's first at bat of the year. And in 1999, he batted .332. He had 25 homers and 99 RBIs. And that's going to be a first base hit of the ball game for the Reds. It lands in the right field. Gwynn cuts it off, holds him to a single. So 1 on and nobody out for Barry Larkin. And Larkin's first plate appearance of the year in 1996, he batted .298, 33 homers and 89 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. All of a sudden, the Big Red Machine's making some noise here. First and second, nobody out. And Nolan's going to try to bunt him down the second and third. Nolan in 1972 batted a buck 17 with no homers and 2 RBIs. They put the bunt sign down. That's going to be a nice bunt down back to the mound. Peavy's up with it. He fires over to first with Tim covering, and that'll be out number one. And now we got second and third, and only one out, and we're back to the top of the order here. And can Pete Rose come through here? Runners in scoring position. Rose grounded out to short his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Pete strikes out, a big strikeout. Now there's 2 outs, 2 on. And the second baseman Morgan's up. And he flew out the left his first time up. Can Joe drive him in? And that's going to be a pop-up out in the right. Matter of fact, that's going to be back-to-back strikeouts. Peavy comes through second and third and strikes out Rose and Morgan. To get out of that mess with nobody scoring, the Big Red Machine cannot get the big hit yet in this series. Leave 2 more men on. We go to the top of the fourth. Gwen, Gonzalez, and Henley due up. Tony grounded out to short back in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down to short. Again, Larkin's up with it. Out number one. And that brings up Gonzalez. And he flew out the left his first time up back in the second. And that's going to be a base on balls. So Gonzalez walks on down the first. Brings up Chase Henley. The runner on and 1 out. Chase struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a rare play on a 39. Runner on first. Runner on first. Let's see here. A 12 and a 39. That's going to be a 25. That's going to be back to the mound. Nolan to 2. And runner's trapped off first and is out on a run down. So Gonzalez gets picked off first. And now there's nobody on and 2 outs. And Chase is still at the plate. And here's the first pitch to Chase. And he gets a hold of this. Drives that into the gap. Another 2-out double. How big was picking him off at first now? Now Chase is down at second. 2 outs. Go ahead, run in scoring position for Cito. Cito doubled back in the second. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Larkin. He's going to fire across the diamond. And how to win the inning. And again, the Padres strand 1. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Got the big boys due up here for the Reds. Griffey, George, and Bench. Ken's 0 for 1. He flew out to center. And that ball is well hit. See where Ken deposits this one at. And that ball is high. That ball is far. How far is this one going to travel, folks? Kiss it goodbye. Ken Griffey has just put the Big Red Machine up 1-0 with a solo homer to start this fourth inning out. So that gets the Big Red Machine going the first run of the year. And now brings up Big George. And George Foster's 0 for 1. He flew out to center his first time up. And again, we dropped the dice. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Peavy bounces back, strikes out George for out number 1. One down now in the fourth. And here's Johnny. And Johnny Bench struck out back in the second. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. Bench goes down for the second time with a strikeout. That brings up Tony Perez now. Perez grounded out the third back in the second. And that's going to be a rare play, a 42 and a 39. 42 and a 39. That's going to be a foul ball, strike one. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Perez. And that's going to be 17. That's going to be a fly ball out the seat out in the inning. But the solo homer by Griffey makes it 1-0 Reds. So we go to the top of the fifth. You got Kennedy due up. Flannery and Peavy, the bottom third of the lineup. Kennedy's 0 for 1. He flew out the right. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Perez for out number 1. And Tim Flannery comes to the plate. Flannery grounded out to short his first time up. He gets a hold of this one. This might be their first hit without 2 outs, folks. And that's going to be a double in the right field. And this time only 1 out instead of 2. So the tying run down at second. And Peavy's up. Peavy's not a bad hitting pitcher. They're going to let him swing away here, folks. He's already in scoring position. See what Jake can do here. He grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Morgan's up with it. 63 and a 9. Might be fielding column too. Yeah, it is. Let's see here. Yep, that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Runner will get down the third, though. So now you got the tying run 90 feet away. Somewhat like a swinging bunt. And that'll bring up Roberts. And Roberts has doubled and grounded out. Double back in the third. And that's going to be a base on balls. He's going to trot on down the first. And the Padres making some noise here in the fifth. Runners on the corner and 2 outs for Templeton. He has flown out the left and center. And not this time. That's going to be against the righty. Be a 19. And that is going to be a base hit in the left field. The question is, will the runner get down the third? 40. Let's see, is he a PR? No, hit straight away, so it will be in the left field. 40. That'll tie this ball game up. And he'll stop at second. So that's a RBI single. And it's a tie ball game. Gary Templeton comes through, gets that run right back. Now you got first and second. All this happening now with 2 outs. And Tony Gwynn's 0 for 2. He's grounded out the short both times up. And that's going to be against a 17 and a 9. That's going to be another hit. This one's going to score Biff. And Templeton's going to get down the third. So a single in the center field. And the Padres are going to take the lead here. Now you got first and third and still 2 outs. And Nolan's struggling here in the fifth. After getting 2 outs, 2 runs have scored. Brings up Gonzalez. He has flown out the left and walked. And that'll finally end the inning. That'll be a ground ball down the short. Larkin will go the short way over to second to end the inning, but 2 big runs score makes it 2-1 San Diego. We go to the 5th. We got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Reds. Casey, Larkin, and Nolan. And Casey is 1-for-1. He's single back in the 3rd. And that's going to be a 17. That's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Biff makes the catch for out number 1. Brings up Barry Larkin now. And Larkin walked in the 3rd. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Barry goes down on strikes. And I'll bring up Greg Nolan now, Gary Nolan. And Nolan had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. And that's going to be against the righty. 23 and a 9. And that'll be a swing and a miss. He strikes Nolan out. And that'll be a 1-2-3 5th. To the top of the 6th we go. You got Henley, Cito, and Kennedy due up here. And Chase, he doubled back in the 4th and struck out. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Over to Casey for out number 1. And Cito comes to the plate now. And he is 1-for-2. He doubled back in the 2nd. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Griffey's out there. 32 and a 2. And that's going to be a single in the right. Griffey can't get to it. Takes it on the bounce. And Cito's aboard here with a 1-out hit. See if the big red machine can get a double play ball here from Kennedy. Kennedy is flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And the relay's just too late. They won't turn 2, but that'll be a 6-4 put out. Now you got Kennedy down at first and Flannery at the plate. And Timms doubled back in the 5th and came around the score. That's a swing and a miss. That'll be the end of the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th, but the top of the order due up. Rose, Morgan, and Griffey. With the Reds trailing by 1, it's a 2-1 ball game. Pete is grounded out and struck out. And that's going to be another swing and a miss by Pete. Jake's got his number today. That's his 8th strikeout of the game. Here comes Joe now. Joe is flown out and struck out. And that's going to be a 12. And that is going to be a ground ball down the short. Nice play by Templeton. Just robbed Morgan of a hit. 2 down here. And to the plate now is Griffey. He hit that solo homer back in the 4th to give the Reds the lead. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Now to win the 6th inning. To the top of the 7th we go in a 2-1 ball game. You got Peavy due up, followed by Roberts and Templeton. Jake is 0-for-2. He is grounded out twice. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Peavy strikes out for out number 1. Biff Roberts is up now. Biff's 1-for-2. Walked in the 5th, came around the score and doubled in the 3rd. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Nolan's firing the ball here in the 7th. 2 up and 2 down by strikeouts. Can he strike the side out? Templeton had that RBI single back in the 5th. And that's going to be good morning, good afternoon, and good night. He strikes the side out. Gary Nolan with his 5th strikeout of the game. We get to the 7th inning stretch. It's 2-1 San Diego. The big red machine hasn't turned it on yet. After 15 innings, they've only scored one run. They got the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up here. George, Johnny, and Tony. George is 0 for 2. He is flown out and struck out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the chase at third for out number 1. And it's up to Johnny to get something going here with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. He struck out twice. Can he put the ball in play? And that's going to be against the righty, a 20. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Cito. He makes the catch for out number 1. Out number 2, rather. So it's up to Tony Perez to get something going here with 2 outs. Perez is grounded out and flown out. And not this time. That's a double in the right field. So now the tying runs down at second with 2 outs for Sean Casey. Casey has singled back in the third. Can he do it again and drive Tony in? 2 out base hit and may score Tony. He doesn't have a lot of speed out there. And that's going to be a base on balls. So all of a sudden now, Barry Larkin with a shot here. Tying run at first. Go ahead, run out. Tying run down at second. Go ahead and run down at first. Larkin is 0 for 1. He's walked and struck out. Has yet to put the ball in play. Can Barry come through for him? And that ball is high. That ball is far. How far is this one going to go, folks? And that ball is out of here. Kiss it goodbye. Barry Larkin with a 3-run shot gives the Reds a 4-2 lead here, folks. I think that's going to be it for Nolan. Going to pitch hit for him. He goes 7 strong innings. And let's see who's going to come off the bench here. And against the righty, Penson's going to come off the bench, try to get aboard here. And see who they're warming up out there in the bullpen for the Big Red Machine. And it's going to be see here. We'll have to look and see who they got coming up. First, we'll bring up Penson here. Oh, Veda coming off the bench. And Veda, this is his first plate appearance of the year in 1963. He batted .313. He had 22 homers and 106 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Jake strikes him out. Too little, too late, maybe, folks, after the 3-run homer by Barry. And it is now 4-2 as we go to the top of the 8th. Let's see here. Who do they got coming up here? Got the lefties coming up. So Chapman's coming out of the bullpen, folks. Chapman's coming out of the bullpen against these lefties. This is what you want him for. Where's Chapman at? There he is. This is Chapman's first appearance of the year. And in 2012, he was 5-5 with 38 saves and a 1.51 ERA. Tony Gwynn's at the plate. He's 1 for 3, had an RBI single back in the 5th. Here's the pitch to Gwynn. And that's going to be against the lefty. 28 and an 8. Yeah, 28 and an 8. That's going to be a swing and a miss. Chapman strikes Gwynn out. 1 down here. Let's see here. Are they going to pitch hit for Gonzalez? Yes, they are. Nathan Corbett's going to come off the bench here. The right-hander is going to come off the bench. Pitch hit here for Gonzalez. Where is he at here? There's Corbett. Nate's going to come off the bench. And this is Corbett's first plate appearance in 1972. He batted .250, 38 homers, and 111 RBIs. And a 37 is going to be a rare play. 15 and a 37. 15 and a 37. It's going to be hit out the right field. Griffey's out there. And a 23 and a 2. 23 and a 2. That's a nice play out there by Griffey. He makes a nice running catch. And that'll be out number 2. 2 up and 2 down here in the 8th. And now who do we got up here? We got Chase up. And third base. See if they want anybody coming off the bench here. And Ken Caminetti's going to come off the bench. Pitch hit here for Chase. And this is Ken's first plate appearance of the year in 1996. He batted .326, 40 homers, and 130 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Chapman strikes him out. 1, 2, 3 goes San Diego here in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th in a 4-2 ball game. Let's see here. Gotta make some defensive changes here. I think that's going to be it for Peavy. Let's see here. Do we want to do a double switch? That is the question. Nope, I don't think we're going to do a double switch. We're just going to bring in Bell's going to come in the pitch here. PV spot. And then the other guys will stay in and bat. So first we'll do this. Put Bell. He'll bat in the 9 spot. And then Caminiti will stay in, play third base. And Nate will stay in and play first base. And Bell will come in to pitch. So you got Heath Bell coming in to pitch, his first appearance of the year. And in 2010, he was 6-1, 47 saves, and a 1.63 ERA. He'll be going up against Rose, Morgan, and Griffey. And you got Ken Caminiti staying in to play third. Nate Corbett stays in to play first. And here's the pitch to Rose with the Reds leading 4-2. He is 0 for 3 today, Pete is. And that's going to be a base hit out in the right field. Pete's aboard here with a leadoff single. A 4-2 ball game. That brings up Joe Morgan. Morgan's 0 for 3. He has flown out, struck out, and grounded out today. See what Morgan can do here. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Cito in center field for out number 1 as Doug Hunt and Don Burke joins us here. So 1 out 1-on for Griffey. Griffey had that solo homer back in the fourth. And that's going to be against the righty. 21. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. 45 and a 7. That'll be fielding column 2. And they'll get the runner out at second on a 4-6 put out. Griffey beats the throw down the first. So now you got Griffey down at first for George. George is 0 for 3. He's flown out, struck out, and grounded out. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. George strikes out to end the inning. We go to the top of the ninth on a 4-2 ball game. And you got a righty and 2 lefties. So Chapman's going to stay in the game here, folks, with the 2 lefties coming up after Cito. Trying to get a 2-out save here, Chapman is. You got Gaston, and then you got Kennedy and Flaherty due up. Flannery due up. Cito's 2 for 3. He's doubled in the second, singled in the sixth. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Rose makes the catch for out number 1. And Terry Kennedy comes to the plate now. And Kennedy's 0 for 3 today. He's flown out and grounded out twice. And that's going to be against the lefty. That'll be a base hit in the right field. So now the tying run comes to the plate. And Tim's up here. The Reds looking to turn 2 here. Tim is doubled back in the fifth, struck out and grounded out. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Chapman strikes him out for out number 2. Now we're going to have a pitch hitter here for Bell. Let's see who's going to come off the bench. Bat against Chapman. And Tatis is going to come off the bench. Bring the right-hander out here. One swing of the bat. He could. Or do we want Winfield? Let's look here. Do we want Fernando or do we want Dave? We're going to go with Fernando. Tatis is going to come off the bench here. Try to tie this game up against Chapman. And this is his first plate appearance. And in 2021, he batted .282, 42 homers, and 97 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Chapman strikes him out. And now to win this ball game, folks, the Reds win 4-2. And we'll take a look here at the box score. Nice game. Nice pitching duel here. 2 good pitching games in a row in this series. And the Padres, 2 runs, out hit the Reds, but couldn't outscore them with 8 hits and no errors. The Reds, 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Cito Gaston, the only Padre with 2 hits. Padres were 2 for 7. Runners in scoring position. They left 7 men on base. And the Reds were 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Had 2 homers. Griffey with the solo homer. Barry Larkin with that big 3-run blast to give the Reds the lead. The Reds only left 3 men on base. PEAVY goes to 0-1, 7 innings, only 4 hits, 4 runs. Walked 2, struck out 10, but gave up the 2 bombs. Bell comes in, pitches 1 inning, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout. And Nolan goes 7 innings, picks up his first win on 7 hits, 2 runs, walked 2, struck out 5. Chapman comes in, pitches 2 innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, gets his first save of the year. And we'll take a look here at the standings and leaderboard. Ain't a lot to look at, but we'll take a look. Now you got the Padres a half a game back, along with the Colorado Rockies are 3 games back of the Diamondbacks. And excuse me. Let's see here. You got the Braves 1-1. You got the Brewers and Reds now tied in that division 1-1. And Steve Finley's leading the National League with a 455 average. 3 ball players with 2 home runs apiece. And you got now 4 players with 4 RBIs leading the National League. Of course, the ERA leaders are at 0. And 1 win for everybody's tied. And 1 save for 3 pitchers. Right now, Hank Aaron's leading in MVP, and Randy Jones is leading in the Cy Young. And we got game number 3 of this series coming up on April 2nd. Take a look here. And let's see, we're going to have Dave Dravecky going up against Bob Perky. So ignore those pitchers. It ain't Whitson and it ain't Rio. It's going to be Dravecky going up against Perky. Game number 3 of this series. I want to thank Doug Hunt, Dan Burke, and G Puck for stopping in. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders, and on your way out, hit that like button and leave a comment. Till next time, y'all have a great day, and y'all take care.